Okay, here we are back, and I have painted and installed all the parts I've shown before. I went with the RLM76. You can see here where the sides came up. What I'm going to do is, in the kit I'll include some 020, which is some really thin ABS, and you'll be able to come in here and cut it and go all the way over to the edge and clean that up so you don't see, so it'll be nice and clean. And you just glue it with, on this side where it's touching the ABS, just glue it with like the Model Masters paint or the Testors paint, not paint, Model Masters glue or the Testors glue for plastic models. And this side you can use epoxy or CA, either one. But just glue that in there, or you can use a filler and clean that up too. Either way you want to do it. But anyway, I've got the floorboards installed. What I want to show you, I left this open down here, so I personally, and you can choose, there's two spots here, and also here and here for that you can put your servos. Now, a standard size servo, you'll have to relieve just a little bit, probably about a 1/16 of an inch to fit it in that space there. And what I'll do, instead of using all these these cables here, I'll use a pull on the rudder, and I'll use a carbon fiber rod on the elevator. And that's just personally how I do it. And you can, whichever way you choose, you can run the lines back here and hide all this under the seat. Okay. What I wanted to show you about the seat is, now I have, I've made the seat. It just varied from, I tried to make it the shape of the scale one, but it had a piece of wire that came up and held the top and the bottom together, or a piece of metal, and I'm trying to make it easy. So what I've done is, it's a 4-piece set. The inside's just a tad smaller than the out, and you cut these off, and they're a 1/4 inch thick. And then once you cut them out, you paint the base, and then slide this piece inside. I went ahead and painted it brown like the cushion, but this will glue inside. Now, if you want to make this removable, so you can put your servos back here and hide them under the seat, what you would do would, I'll show you how I planned on doing it, is I took just some plain pieces of pine, some wood, and this one, the one in the front is going to be 1 inch tall, and the rear one's right at 1.25 inches. But anyway, how I would do it is I would glue this piece of wood right here on the piece of metal here. Once I've got it painted, it's the hold down for the for this part here. I would glue that in the center there. It still leaves you access to the screws if you need it. And then the back one, I would glue it right here. And then what you do is, you want to make this removable. You don't glue the base of the seat in. You actually would run a screw here and a screw in the front to hold this down. You could hold this on with a piece of Velcro, a piece of tape, whatever you think will hold it for you. And if you needed access, you just pull this cushion off and take the screws out. You could double that inside. There's enough room that you could put a small piece of wood to take the stress off of just one screw being in the middle. But anyway, even if you do glue the seat in permanently, you do need to take a small piece of wood and tie the two together so it becomes nice and strong. But if you do it this way, you leave access to both servos, either side, to work your pull or however you want to do it. The front seat is just generally cut out, and there will be a pedestal that goes underneath that will glue in, and then you glue the seat to that. Okay. As far as the back here, what I decided to do is, because this is not totally the scale. These braces are kind of in the scale location, but the way they've got the back set up here, and I didn't want to cut any of it, it's not quite scale. I've made a piece here that will fit. Once you cut it out and paint it, it will fit right between the two. It'll glue straight to the bottom. And then if you'll take a 3/8 by 3/8 piece of a balsa, and you can glue that right along this top edge here. This will come and glue at the bottom and pull back and glue to that piece of not triangular stock, but a piece of square, a 3/8 by 3/8 square stringer. Anyway, just glue that there. Now the bottom, what I've done is I've tried to simulate the magazines. that they're coming in 2 pieces, or there are actually 4 of them here. There's a triangle, and then there's the magazines, and you just paint them gray, and then the magazine's black. But anyway, this piece, you need to plan ahead. You may have to cut out here or cut it up in a way so your push rods can go through. But anyway, this piece just lays down in here, and you need to cut the top, because it comes back about that far. You just need to cut the top. You can cut it real short like I did, so you leave the holes here, or you can leave it long so it partially covers those up. Like I said, I'm going to include some ABS in there so you can blend that in if you want. But anyway, this just lays in place. You just bring it up, and it will slide back into place. Then you can glue it using the testers or the Model Masters glue all the way around the edges, and that will attach the ABS to the ABS. Okay, so now we have the back all finished up. Now I just did this temporarily. There will be a gun included. You'll have to take your piece of ABS, or the clear ABS that comes with the thing. I just cut a piece out just to test it. And you'll have to drill a hole large enough for the barrel to go through. And you could probably just put a drop of goop or some other like epoxy or something to hold that in place. If you look at most of the documentation, they did not put a magazine on it when it was not needed. They actually had a little thing that would pull over and it would hook to the side. But this will stand alone inside the canopy and just stay just like that. Let's see here. As far as the dash goes, what you need to do when you put glue the dash in. Let me see if I can put this on really quick. Okay. Now when you glue the dash in, I originally had planned on setting it a little bit lower. If you look here where this rounds around, this dash is almost flush with that. You need to go ahead and put the top on after you've got all this glued in, all these side pieces, and make sure this dash will come down and sit just on top of that. You barely have to notch out the back here. You have to put a little notch there for it to clear the stringer here. Also, I did take the dash there, and I took some 1/16 inch balsa and covered the whole inside of this, and it's allowed it to glue to this piece here a lot flatter without having any indentions in it. So I got that glued in. Okay, there was something I wanted to show you real quick. On your back cockpit deck down here, you need to go ahead and, to make it easy to install, instead of 1 piece, make it a 2-piece. It'll come across here, drop down, and go straight. You see where the dotted line is here? If you'll cut that across there, you can install one and then the other. Also, you need to pre-cut out for the holes for the servos while you have this apart, and install that. You can just glue it down like I've glued this down, and it'll be fine and it'll look okay. I wanted to show you that real quick. With the kit, I do include the resin pieces. You got the magazines, and then the magazine holder for the back. There are 2 foot pedals that will be glued up on that front stringer that goes across there on the floorboard. There's a joystick. You just have to cut it. There's a place in the floorboard that was marked that you have to just drill it out and stick it in. There's a little attaché that goes at the back, and then your throttle control. The real one was thin, and this one is too. You just have to drill 2 holes and install your controls there. Okay. I believe this cockpit has really makes this plane stand out, makes it look a lot better. You just have to figure out where you want to hide your fuel tank and stuff like that, and you can work with it and see what looks best for you. But this gives you a good basis to start with. I hope you enjoy the cockpit. If you have any problems, you need anything, you feel free to contact me at through tiesplanes.com or through Tomas at VQ Warbirds. I hope you enjoy building your cockpit and your plane, and I appreciate it.